Alright, the title of this video is Self-Defense Turns to Murder When the Defender Can't Control Himself. I'm going to put the link in the description section of this video. You can watch the video for yourself. Alright, so here is the video. So there's this white car pulling up, and there's a black car pulling up behind them. These people know each other. They don't like each other. There's going to be a fight that will proceed at this moment. He basically blocks this white car from being able to leave with his own car. So this guy goes into his trunk to get a 2x4 to fight with. So now he has a stick and he's going to try to strike this person with the stick. He ends up hitting the door. Now the person in the car actually has a gun in the car. So as this person's hitting the guy's car with the stick, this person ends up getting the gun and shooting this person. Then he shoots him again right here. Shoots him twice. And then finally, he's going to shoot him a third time. Right there. So he shoot him 3 times while this person's trying to push him back. So they ended up saying that the police arrested the guy. That was a murder because he went too far with it. You know, he didn't have to shoot him that 3rd time. This is all caught on video as well. Just see it one more time. Shoots him there, shoots him again, and then finally that 3rd time. Okay, so just a little feedback on the video. That person, especially after the first 2 shots, he was no longer a threat, and then he went ahead and shot him that 3rd time to execute him. This was all caught on film. If it wasn't caught on film, then maybe he would have got away with it. He was justified in defending himself with the firearm, definitely, but he wasn't justified in especially that 3rd shot. Maybe the first 2 shots he was good to go, but the 3rd shot put him in jail, and I think they charged him with murder. So this goes to show how important it is, to know the law and knowing what you're allowed to do to defend yourself in certain circumstances and what you're not allowed to do. You have to know when to stop. You have to know when the person is no longer a threat. Something similar happened in Chicago, maybe about a year ago, where officers shot, this black teenager or black person with, 15 rounds, and the person had a knife. I mean, the person didn't have to be shot 15 times, and this was also caught on camera. And Chicago had to go through a lot of protests because of that. And when you shoot somebody, to defend yourself, you have to know when to stop. Just because you have 15 rounds in the magazine doesn't mean that you should use all 15 of them. Ideally you want to try to settle the confrontation without having to use the firearm. But if you have to use the firearm, know that you have to know when to stop. So this was something to definitely learn from. Once again, this is real life. Somebody actually did die from this encounter. And this is not for entertainment. I say once again, it's not for entertainment. This is to learn. This is for educational purposes. This is caught on security footage. Their life has ended because of this confrontation. For one, the person that was angry should not have, stopped his car to fight. He should not have went to the trunk of his car to grab a weapon. Anytime you grab a weapon, no matter if it's a stick, no matter if it's a bat, no matter if it's a knife, you have to be very careful when using a weapon, because that justifies a person in shooting and killing you, because you have escalated the the fight to something that's deadly and something that the law will justify in, the person that wishes to defend himself to shoot and kill you because you have that weapon. So this is the stuff that we all have to be aware of and really think about. You know, there's road rage all the time. Almost everybody's driving cars, and you don't know what type of weapons are in those cars. And when somebody pulls a weapon out of the trunk, you gotta be ready for that, and you gotta see how you're gonna handle that. Um, the person that was defending himself, he had every right in defending himself with the firearm, but he didn't have the right to execute the person, shoot him in the back of the head, especially when that person was no longer a threat. That right there was anger coming from the person with the firearm, and you had to learn how to control your anger. And that extra shot probably resulted in him receiving life in prison. So one person couldn't control his anger, he ends up dead. Other person can't control his anger, he ends up in jail for the rest of his life. You know, so there's a lot that could be learned from that video, and it's definitely worth analyzing. I say that we try not to fight at all. You know, um, and maybe in that instance, if the person didn't have the gun, maybe he could try to stay in the car. Because it'll be hard for the person to hit him with a stick if he's just in the car. Um, Another thing is when you know the person is following you and he's angry, maybe you shouldn't stop the car. And if you do stop the car, don't stop your car in a position where you're gonna get trapped and you have nowhere to go. Um, and it's a tough situation, but we have to think about those things. These are the things that we need to prepare for. It's extremely important to control your anger, control your emotions, and be on the defensive, and don't be aggressive. And if people are being aggressive towards you, okay, you may have the right to take their life, but you have to do it in the right way, and you have to do it in a justified way, a legal way to protect yourself. You don't want to go to jail for the rest of your life. That might be considered even worse than death. So if you're the defender, you have to know when to stop. And as a martial artist, you should pretty much never be the aggressor. You should be never be the one that wants to um, start the fight. You have to be the one in control. Um, there's just no reason. There's no justification for a martial artist to be so aggressive and to provoke a fight in which to end up resulting in somebody pulling a gun on you. You know, Martial artists should not be robbing people. Martial artists should not be, bullying people and just encouraging a fight when they can easily walk away. So very important lessons to learn, very important things to think about.